I'm combining two of my favorite things, French fries and French onion soup.
Okay, I like that.
Yes, they're gonna be loaded with caramelized onions and gooey Gruyere.
What?
Ooh, these are my French onion fries. Okay, so I'm preheating my baking sheet. So that's gonna be so that they can start frying the minute they hit it. So it's at 425 and they're just going in there. So now let's get started on our onions. Sunny, if you can start grating some Gruyere cheese, I need a whole lot of it.
Yeah, the whole block?
A whole bunch of cheese.
Okay, let's do this.
You can't have too much
like we're going to
cheese.
Canada for this. I like
Unloaded
this.
I think we're going to Canada.
Okay?
I feel like we're doing it, right?
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna cook these onions in butter. I really like caramelized onions to be in butter. So I just think you get so much flavor from it.
Question real quick. What does Canada have to do with grating Gruyere cheese? What am I missing?
Come on, Jeff, you don't
Because
know?
we went to
Poutine.
you know, poutine land.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
or
I don't-
New Jersey,
I don't
the disco fries.
Are you doing gravy?
No, there's no gravy and there's no cheese
You
curds.
two get to stepping.
When I make caramelized onions, I'm not looking to crisp up the onions.
No.
So you want to cook these low and slow. And one of the things that I do, if they ever start looking like they're drying a little or you're getting some bits on the bottom of the skillet, I just add a little splash of water.
The water.
So these are gonna take a while to cook. I mean, it could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it could be 40 minutes. You just wanna keep cooking them down. I also wanna show you how I slice the onion. I like them sliced like this when I'm making caramelized onions.
Okay.
Do you have an opinion, Jeffrey?
Yeah, north to south, because if
Yeah,
you cut them
north to south.
against the grain, they soften right away. So you want to cut them north to south this way with the grain.
So you're just gonna keep cooking them, keep an eye on them. Every once in a while, you'll go back and give them a little stir. You'll add a splash of water, and eventually. they're gonna come out like this.
You can
Look
do this
how
in the oven,
gorgeous.
too. You know, you can
Dutch
do it low
oven?
and slow in the Dutch oven, in the oven.
Great. I'm gonna add to this some white wine.
Oh.
Because we're going French onion soup taste. I'm adding some
That's it.
sherry.
Hey.
Come on.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add in some Worcestershire sauce.
Oh,
Yeah.
c'est bon, no?
Yeah, because you know,
C'est bon.
if you were having French onion soup,
what
it
you
would
have.
be in beef broth.
Yep.
And I think Worcestershire makes things taste a little beefy. And then I'm gonna add into it some fresh thyme.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna season them up with a little bit of pep and salt. Here we go. And I'm just gonna let that cook for a few minutes until that wine and the sherry cooks down. All right, so I've got my potatoes over here. These are gonna be oven fried potatoes.
Okay.
So I've got them just cut in sticks. You can do whatever size fry you like. If you like a wedge fry for this, you can do that. If you want them to be skinnier, you could also use a bag of frozen fries.
Come on.
And I'm using russet potatoes or Idaho potatoes.
I always have frozen fries in my freezer.
Yeah, I
so
always
do
have
we.
frozen fries.
Crinkle
yeah, we
cut.
always
Crinkle
have
cut.
it.
Yeah.
I need,
Sweet
I
potato.
need a quick side. That's what I'm using.
Heck yeah.
They make
All right.
Yukon Gold ones now. They're excellent.
They do.
Okay, toss the oil around the fries. I use a good amount of oil for this. All right, I'm gonna add some garlic powder.
Flavor.
And then to really bump up the onion flavor here, I'm gonna do both onion granules and onion powder.
Oh,
Yeah,
double.
because I want these to be super oniony. And celery seed.
Dude.
Dude.
And some salt. Good amount of salt when you're making fries. And pepper.
Sorry, are you clearing the board with the Gruyere itself?
Well, like things clean up like things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good tip.
Oh,
Like
good tip.
the eggshell
Just how you
gets-
get the eggshell with the eggshell.
Good
Yeah,
tip.
like things clean up like things.
All right, so these fries look nice and coated. I'm gonna get my hot pan out of the oven.
We've been doing a lot of this lately. I feel like
What's that?
reheating the
Yeah,
sheet
you have
pans
to.
in the
It's
oven.
smart.
just-
I think we learned that from you, GZ.
yeah, he's
Here
been doing
we
that
go.
for a while.
Hot pan. You want to do this right before you're ready to put those fries on. You
do
don't
it.
want it to
Go.
cool
Yeah,
down.
Don't slow her down, guys.
Listen to that sizzle.
Hear the sizzle?
Yeah. All right, so that sizzle is gonna immediately start to cook. You can do this when you're roasting veggies or just about anything going in the oven. Really spread them out so that they don't steam.
Surface space, right?
Now these are gonna go into the oven. I'm gonna put them in 425 degrees. For about 35 to 40 minutes, you're gonna flip them halfway through.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of French onion trends going on. If you remember, I did that French onion mac and cheese.
Yes, I remember that.
That big sheet of...
Oh, yes.
I mean, you can pretty much French onion everything. It's now a verb.
Here we go.
Katie,
Look
what's
at this.
happening?
Now I'm gonna load them up.
Oh, load them up. CLB,
my
KLB.
onions. Yeah, just scatter those onions all over the place. You want everything to have an even coating. I mean, I can make a meal on just this. I don't really need anything else. This, a salad, and a glass of white wine. Call it a night.
Yeah.
All right, you know when you get a bowl of French onion soup and it's just got that thick
has to.
layer of
Yeah,
melted
it's like
cheese? That's what I'm going for. So lots and lots of cheese. Now, Gruyere cheese can be expensive. And this is a lot of it.
Just do Swiss.
So you can either do Swiss or you can do a combo with some Swiss and some Gruyere so that you're still getting that flavor of the nuttiness.
Katie.
Let it snow.
So we're gonna put this.
Something you want to tell us?
I love cheese.
This is crazy.
All right. I mean, wouldn't you be disappointed if you got something French onion, there was a little
Yes.
tiny bit
Well,
of
it does
cheese
melt.
on it?
Come on,
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm gonna put this under the broiler now.
Under the broil.
Under
Because
the broiler.
they're already
Yeah.
cooked. I'm just looking to melt the
Okay.
cheese.
Plus, they're still got some rigidity to them, so you don't want to bake them, you know?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Broiler.
And
I'm
while
so
that
excited.
cheese melts, I'm gonna chop up some parsley. I mean, we've made some good loaded fries here on the kitchen before. I've done carne asada fries.
I remember those.
You can do like buffalo chicken fries. It's a great thing for game day. What about you guys? What are some things that you like to load up on fries?
Oh, I just want beanless chili, some mustard, and fresh chopped white onions. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah. I
just
see,
going
like
for
a
my
nut- yeah.
Detroit vibe, you know.
Chili dog fries almost.
You could do like
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati chili on
100%.
fries.
100%.
Yeah.
Like a nice, like, you know, funky cheese sauce and some charred pepperoni, sausage in there, like pizza fries.
All right, our parsley looks good. Let's check on those fries.
Oh, man. I am ready. I'm about to eat my weight.
Oh
taste it,
my
too.
gosh, you guys, get ready.
Oh, Gary Gruyere. Let's do it.
Jeff, I'm gonna let you close
I
that
got
up
it, girl.
for me.
Oh, jeepers. I'm
I got it, Jeff. I'm already up.
Oh my gosh, look at all the cheese all around. Ooey gooey. Uh-huh.
Oh.
And we're gonna top it with
Oh, there you go.
It
Just-
looks like
little
it looks like it looks
parsley.
like.
Have you taken Katie Lee somewhere, and can we get the
Yeah,
real
where is she?
Katie
No,
Lee?
kind of like this
Listen,
new
on
Katie.
game
Lee.
day, it's like no holds barred
Who
for me.
are you?
I eat it all.
This is crazy.
And let's be honest, we don't need a platter
We don't
here.
need a platter.
We're
That
just
is
gonna
the
eat it
platter.
right off
That's
of
when you
here.
turn the platter upside down and it becomes a pedestal.
There you go.
Yeah, put that
There we
right
go.
there. Yeah.
Just
Here
a
we
catering
go.
girl coming out right here.
Here we go.
I mean, you would just ruin this lovely, natural presentation. The
Yeah.
love.
It's love. It does have a poutine vibe.
It does.
Very much, very much.
I see it now. I see what you're talking about. I was very confused earlier. Oh, look at that.
You want that cheese pool,
I
you gotta
do
get
want a
yourself
fork
some
just so I can-
Swiss, some
Yeah, me
Gruyere.
well. Me
myself.
too, please.
You need a fork, my dude? I mean, a knife, you good?
Look at that.
Oh, come on, Katie, come on.
Come on, right?
Got a blow on it. Oh, it's hot.
Can't wait, I
That's
can't
hot.
wait. I'm gonna
This
try
is
and
like
break-
lava. Look at that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
That's one of our best cheese pulls. And we didn't expect it. No one expected it.
It's
Well,
in
there
my
hardly
hair.
any
Dare I
cheese.
say the Gruyere is the,
Thank you.
it's like the most luxurious of all cheese pulls.
It
First
is.
of all, look at
Mozzarella
that.
Gruyere.
Look at that mayhem right there. That's nuts. That's nuts. And I'm so glad you didn't spend the time to get out the fry-later or the Dutch oven full of oil. It's like almost too much work to fry. What that oven fry did its job perfectly. The Gruyere, the caramelized onions. I mean, dare I say, I think I like this better than French onion soup. There's more to pick at, more to chew up.
I'm gonna make a batch of thin and crispy waffle fries. I've just been getting the potatoes ready. I cut the potatoes and then I soaked them in water for an hour just to remove the starch. Now before I fry the potatoes, I need to pat them really dry. There's a little bit of a knack to cutting the potatoes. Let me walk you through it. I cut the end off of a potato. Then using a mandolin with the crinkle slicer, I cut down. The first slice is always a crinkle. I rotated the potato 90 degrees, cut down, and there it was, a thin waffle fry. Just be very careful with that mandolin. It is sharp. So I kept going, cutting and rotating until I had a big pile. For the first stage of frying, I'm going to put the potatoes in vegetable oil that's been heated to 260 degrees, and I'm just going to fry them for 2 minutes for the initial stage. No matter what kind of fries I make, I always fry them twice. Okay, the potatoes have had their first fry. They're really soft, so I'm going to take them out of the oil and let them drain. All right, I'm going to turn the heat up under the pot, and I'm going to heat the oil to 325, and then I'll return the potatoes to the pot for another 3 minutes. Okay, the potatoes are ready to come out. I stopped short of them getting too brown. They are beautifully golden. These are so thin, they're on the verge of being potato chips. Now what makes these fries extra delicious is this simple seasoning mix. Let me tell you how to throw it together. Okay, seasoning mix coming right up. I added a teaspoon of seasoned salt to a bowl, along with half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne, and mixed it together. I will get these fries onto a platter. Ooh, they look amazing. It's sour cream and onion dip, made with half a cup of mayo, half a cup of sour cream, a teaspoon of Dijon, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, the same amount of salt, a tablespoon of chopped chives, and you guessed it, everything is mixed together. A few stirs and the dip is done. This dip is the perfect partner for these fries.
Look at those bad boys right there. Now, the sweet potatoes, I don't think get enough play as well. You know, it's kind of like the same idea on the catfish. Here's this thing that has so much great flavor, has a great look to it, and doesn't really get used except for when we're doing the holiday time. Me, I'm gonna do this nice little 1/4-inch slice on this, pop it in some oil, double fry it, you know, so we get it to cook twice, so we get a really nice crust on the outside. But here we go, just run a slicer across it. Here's what I'm looking for, peeler, slicer, you know, 220, 221. Cut this off. Now, here's what I'm going for. Right about here. That's what I'm looking for. And these are those shoestring, and the sweet potato does so well on this. So look at that. Look how nice that's gonna be. Nice, thin. We're gonna hit it with some malt vinegar, nice. So you're gonna get the complement between the sweetness and a little bit of the tang of the malt vinegar. Throw it into this ice bath. Let it start to pull out some of that starch so it even gets crispier. Now let's get over these potatoes. I've got some oil preheated. To what temperature? Well, we fry at 350 typically, right? Nope, not on this. On this, we're gonna go down at about 325, 320. And the reason is I wanna cook the meat or cook the flesh of this sweet potato, then I'm gonna take it out and let it cool down. So now it's gonna be cooked all the way through. On this second cooking, what's gonna happen is I'm actually gonna put the crisp on it, and that's gonna give the nice crunch. So I'll go in with about a handful. Watch yourself, or watch myself. There we go, not too much, don't wanna overload it, so I've got about and we'll see here, that can come up on you real fast, go over into the fire, catches a fire. It's always good to have a fire extinguisher hanging out right here, ready to go. Looks like we're in good shape. I'll add a few more. Now, the sweet potato fries, I'm gonna make a little sprinkle, like a fry seasoning, and it's great on diners, drive-ins, and dives. They go around the country. I find the craziest things that people are using to season their fries with, and this is actually some inspiration I got on this, is putting a little bit of sugar in there, and I'm gonna do that here in just a second. Look at the great color on that, though. I think that when you're thinking about doing fries next time, the sweet potato is a nice little option to go with. Okay, my oil temperature came down again. I'm already down into the 300s, so I need to let it recover. I've got it on high. Actually, I just turned it off. I got it on high, and then I'll go in with that second fry for the first batch. Second fry, first batch, you know what I mean? Okay, fish looks good. Let's make this. Okay, paprika, not the super hot paprika, a little bit of the smoky paprika. Get that in. This could be made ahead of time also. The only idea with it is when you're using your spices and you're mixing them together, put them in another container, label them, and keep them in somewhere that's kind of cool and dark. A little granulated garlic, a little cumin, a little granulated onion, and here we go. This is the kicker right here, a little sugar. Believe it or not, But it's nice, just gives that little sweet overtone there. And this goes great. I mean, look at what I put in there, you know, flavor-wise. This is gonna go so nice with these sweet potatoes, and they really do have a real nice sweetness to them. And a little black pepper. Okay. Mix this up. Now, right here, sweet potato fries. Oh, that's good. Sweet potato fries. First, I cut them, soaked them in ice water, and pulled some of that starch out. And that was so when I fried them, I didn't have too much sugar in them, they didn't burn. Fried them once, let them cool down, fried them again, and check those bad boys out. Nice spice mixture with cumin and paprika and a little bit of sugar, actually. Cool.
Is it a snack? Is it a starter? Is it a side? Well, the beauty of the Merck's Parmesan garlic fries is that they can be anything you want them to be. I'm gonna make a butter to toss the fries in, and it starts with softened butter. I'm gonna add some oregano, and there are actually two forms of Parmesan in the fries. For the butter mixture, I'm adding the powdery Parmesan, I call it, just the really finely grated stuff that you can buy already grated in the store. And I'll smush everything together. And then where the garlic comes in is with this garlic oil. And all it is olive oil with some minced garlic. And I heated it over the stove a little bit and let it sit for 4 to 5 minutes just to totally infuse the garlic. And then I let it cool and I'm just stirring it in. And it just kind of turns into this flavorful, amazing combo that's gonna coat the fries when they come out of the oven. Okay, the garlic butter is all mixed, so I'm gonna grab those fries out of the oven. I cheated, full disclosure. At the Merck, we make our own fries, and it's quite a process. These are frozen fries, and I decided to use thin frozen fries. At the Merck, our fries are thicker, which is kind of part of the fun, but honestly, just use whatever fries you have in your freezer. The important part is that you want to pour the garlic butter onto the fries as soon as you pull them out of the oven, because you want the fries to be super hot and really just grab a hold of that garlic butter. Alrighty, perfect. So serving it is the most fun, and you'll see what I mean when I start piling these on the platter. So I have a platter, and I've got two sides, some garlic aioli and ketchup, which is what we serve at the Merck. The garlic aioli is just store-bought for me, but you can make your own. So you want to build as big of a pile as you can with half the fries, and then I've got all this beautiful, light, heavenly, angelic Parmesan. And you have to grate it yourself. You really don't want to use the stuff that's pre-shredded. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, you have to cover the fries. I mean, you barely want to be able to see the fries. And then parsley. So then comes more fries. It's a world gone mad, I tell you. As you can see, you want to have some fun with the mountain. So then comes the second layer of Parmesan, and then end with some parsley. Okay, guys. Is this the most incredible platter of fries you've ever seen? Really easy to make at home, especially if you use frozen fries. I think you should make these, tonight. Tonight is always a good idea.
Avocado fries with a crunchy panko coating. So I am just going to pit my avocado, twist, and then turn, and it comes right out. I'm going to cut my avocado into quarters, peel them, and it's gonna keep my flesh nice and intact. And avocados is basically a blank slate too. It doesn't really have a really strong flavor, so whatever you season it in or add it to, it just enhances it just a little bit. I'm gonna coat these in flour, panko, and ranch seasoning. So I'm gonna crack 2 eggs and put them into this bowl. That's gonna keep that panko on the avocados. I'm gonna use a half a cup of flour in this tray. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of ranch powder. You can add your favorite seasonings, but I love the ranch flavor on these fries. So I'm gonna add panko to this tray, a little salt, a little pepper, mix that up. All right, so let me show you how to do this. You get your avocado, roll it around in flour and your ranch, roll it around in your egg, dip it into the panko, and make sure it's coated. There you have it, super simple. All right, so my oven is preheated to 425. I'm gonna bake these for about 16 to 18 minutes or until they get crispy. I'm gonna spray it with some cooking spray before I put it in the oven. That's gonna help get that panko crispy, and it's also gonna help get that nice and crunchy. While those bake, I'm gonna make the dipping sauce for my avocado fries. I gotta have something to dip my fries in. So this dip is gonna go really well with the ranch seasoning that's on the avocados. I'm gonna use a little mayo, this entire carton of sour cream. I'm gonna zest this entire lime. This lime zest and lime juice is gonna really freshen up this dip. A little lime juice, a little garlic powder, salt, and a little black pepper. And a few leaves of cilantro that I am going to roughly chop. And if cilantro isn't your thing, you can always leave it out. Give it a mix. My avocado fries are done. And look how crispy and golden brown they got. They look crunchy. It'd be really cool to try it, right? It just came out of the oven, but this dipping sauce will cool it down. It's crunchy, and then this sauce. Oh my gosh. It not only cools it down temperature-wise, but the flavor of it, it just complements the avocado so well. It doesn't overpower it. You wanna taste the avocado, and this dipping sauce does that.
I am making for you my fries. But it's not just any fry. It's my Nunya business chili on top of my fries, and I'm just gonna load it up just like I do at the stadium. So let me show you how I get it started right here. In my pot, I've got some olive oil and some onions, just getting sauteed and rendering down nice and tender and translucent. And to that, I'm gonna add in some garlic. Now, this is my easy Nunya business chili. Very simple to make. Usually chili is all kinds of layers of flavor and, you know, maybe 30 to 45 minutes of percolating on the stove top. This is gonna be done in a minute. All right, so into that olive oil, I just said the oil, but I added a little bit of the garlic. You can smell it right now, nice and fragrant. To that, a little bit of cumin. I love cumin in my chili. Just makes it taste like meat, if you ask me. And that's another trick. You add ingredients that are gonna bring the flavor. Now, I've got my pot here on kind of like a medium to medium high. Move everything around. And adding the oil and the spices right now really blooms the spices. So I'm gonna add in some chili powder. And blooming just really means bringing it back to life, you know? A lot of times when you buy spices at the grocery store, it's already been ground up for like maybe 6 months to a year. So as it sits there and those natural oils are just kind of dormant in that bottle, you gotta bring it back to life and it just starts to really smell and taste like it should. And to that, I'm gonna add in my ground beef and then just go in there and break it up. Oh, it just started to snow. Perfect football weather. Okay, so as we're going into the pot here with a pound of beef, I like to add a teaspoon of salt, and that's a really good ratio for every pound of ground meat. A teaspoon of salt will get it to the perfect flavor level for you. You don't have to worry about like tasting and wondering. So right over the top, some salt. And then anytime you think salt, you gotta think pepper. Get that in there. I always end up loosening the top, right? When you loosen the top, there's a plate in the bottom. It takes the plate further apart from each other, the grinder, and it'll give you a bigger, coarser grind of pepper. So the looser, the bigger boulders you get, And the tighter, the finer pepper you get. Get that in there. I like a lot of pepper. And then just start moving it around and breaking it up. This is a really good all-purpose game day chili. All right, so see, that beef is nice and browned. Now it's time for the Nunya part, okay? Usually, so much work to get the flavor into a chili. Phone it in with some jarred marinara sauce, right? It's got everything in it you want. The oregano, probably some basil in there, the garlic, the onions. Yeah, we just put some onions in there. It's just so we felt like we did something. But this is really bringing the flavor right here. Pour that right in. Get as much of that out as I can. Oh, yeah. There you go. Stir this up. All right, so look at that. All came together so quick. Minimal ingredients. They all packed a flavor punch. And I gotta take a look at these fries. I'm gonna let this percolate for a second, but I got the fries in here. Yes, yes. Okay, let me crinkle fries, obviously. I think crinkle fries when you're doing any kind of sauce like cheese or chili over the top, really, really smart because they're kind of like the fusilli of fries. They catch all the sauce in the ridges. And they have a little bit more of like structure, right? They're like the rebar of fries as well. Over the top of my fries, now this is not at the stadium, but I like some scallions. So hey, why not chop these up really quick and get these into the game plan. I just enjoy the whole fanfare of going to the game, eating outside in the open air, and then enjoying a drink or two while you watch your team. All right, scallions good to go. It's time to get this baby put together. All right, so I've already got some other chili right here. Bring this big baby over. Then cannot forget the cheese sauce. Close this up. And now it's just to put it together. Oh, come on. Look at this. Katie, I know you love chili. Check this out, girlfriend. Nunya business chili.
Ooh, that sounds so good. Extra cheese, please.
You know it, girlfriend. And it's another Nunya business hit because I did not make the cheese sauce. Just heating it up. A little bit of cheese sauce. Come on. Buy it, heat it up. Nunya business. The cascade, as Jeff would say. That looks delicious. All right, remember scallions over the top, a little bit of a crunch. And then, just like at the stadium, some sliced pickled jalapenos. Get them at the nacho station. I'm telling you, I will take that tray of fries all around that section just to get every topping that I want on it. There you have it.
Zucchini fries. So the first thing I want to do is cut them into wedges. Okay. Once they're all cut up into wedges, I want to marinate them a little bit. I start with just a pinch of salt and a pinch of lemon zest. It's like putting another extra silk sheet underneath that comforter. You don't realize how good it is until you get into bed. Give that a nice stir, just to coat it. So I build my breading station very simply. Start with a little cup of flour, and that's my insulator, and then 3 eggs. Give that a little whisk just to break them up. Yolk, meat, white, how are you? Now, I always find just pure eggs is a little bit thick. I have better luck when I just add a splash of water. So I get a texture on the eggs that's thick enough to coat, but not too thick that it clumps. And then for that last touch, some toasted breadcrumbs. That's the final layer. Now, as a chef, I can't help myself. Even using toasted breadcrumbs, I like to add something else that packs a little secret punch, but also helps with the browning. In this case, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And now we're really ready to start by just dropping a few of the zucchini pieces in flour. You can really smell the lemon when you pull them out of the bowl. Drop them in the egg. And then finish by coating them with the breadcrumbs. And right on a tray, ready for their glorious fate of frying. I've got my oil nice and hot. You want to start at least 375 degrees because when you drop these in, the temperature's going to drop. And we want to be extra hot because these are big zucchini fries. Drop them right in. Look at that. Don't overcrowd. Get that bubbling in the oil. And you see that just in a couple short minutes, you just have these gorgeous zucchini fries. And I love when they're a little bit imperfect and you just get that bit of green freshness poking through, the modern French fry. Now, immediately when they come out of the hot oil, just as is true with any fried food, give a little pinch of salt, and then I like to put just a dusting of cayenne, just ever so slight.
Homemade French fries are to die for, but they take a little bit of extra time, so I'm getting them started early. All right, I'll give these final 4 potatoes a quick rinse. I've peeled actually 5 pounds in total, and I've kept the potatoes soaking in water to keep them from discoloring in the meantime. Now, cutting French fries, there are lots of different ways to go about it. You can cut them by hand, and I just make several slices. You can go as thick or as thin as you want when you're slicing for French fries. I kind of like them on the thin side. I like lots of that crispy surface area. So after you make slices, just stack up about half the potato and then just make slices of the stacks. Now, one of the secrets of perfect French fries is soaking them in water. I've got about 2 hours to soak them. That's about the minimum amount of time that you want to soak them in water. When you soak French fries in water before frying them, it takes off a little bit of the starches on the outside that can cause a problem when you fry them. All right, I'm gonna get these in the fridge, let them soak, and then the guys will be back and it'll be time to fry them.
You're ready to eat when we get up there, won't you?
Yeah.
One of the most important things when you're making fries at home is to dry them really well before you fry them. Water and hot oil do not mix very well. Some of my darkest moments have involved putting wet things into hot oils. Now, the secret to perfect French fries is to double fry them. So I've got the oil on 300 degrees, and I'm just gonna carefully drop in the potatoes and fry them pretty slowly for about 5 minutes. I'll just stir them around so they're all separated and they won't stick together. I used to make homemade French fries by just plunging them in hot oil and frying them until they were brown. But they always seemed to be a little bit flimsy. They never got that really crisp surface. This double frying method achieves that. All right, now I'm just gonna crank the temperature up on the oil. And the oil's at 400, so I'm gonna fry these a second time. They're just gonna take a few minutes to finish frying. They'll get nice and golden brown really quickly, so don't take your eyes off of them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking them out. Ah, look at those beautiful babies. You can let them go a little more if you like fries to be browner and a little more crisp, but they're gonna keep cooking just a little bit after you take them out of the oil.
Double fried French fries, that's what. The right potato, the right cooking method, and you've got the crispiest, fluffiest fry around. Reminds me of my days of peeling potatoes. Did something bad in the kitchen, you're the one that got to peel them all. Okay, but this is worth it because this is going for some dynamite fries. Actually, I call them double cut fries. What happens is I take the skin off the center here, leave a little bit on the ends, cut these bad boys down. I'll make a little area that I can balance my potato off, taking a piece off the back, then slicing it about 3/8 of an inch all the way through. Stack up just a couple pieces. Don't want to manage too many of them sliding around on each other. Give it an equal cut on that side. And there you go. Almost a perfect looking fry. Check that out. Okay? So we pop these into some water, leach out some of that starch. So we should be running right around 320, 315 to around 330. We're good. And I got some oil going that I'm going to throw these fries into. I'm going to do a double fry, as I called it. Oil and water scare me. Okay? Let me get some towels. Now, what happens here is the first time I cook these, I'm really just kind of cooking the potato. I'm not really going for a browning. That's what's kind of misunderstood, I think, when people are making French fries at home. They think, well, I'll just take the fries and I'll just throw them in there. And, well, they turn brown, so they're done. And then they're kind of soft in the middle. It's kind of like baked potato-y in the middle. And the idea that we're looking for is it takes a lot to cook a French fry and pull that moisture out to get the crisp. They may look nice and brown on the outside, but they're going to be a little bit soggy. This is how you're going to fight that. So take this here, put them down. Don't want to put water into that if we don't have to. Shake some off, okay? Give them a little dry. Somewhat dry. Okay? Now, we're going to go and throw them in, kind of cook them through. We'll pull them out, let them cool down, and then we'll fry them again, and that's when the crunch will go on. So watch your hands. And this temperature's a little bit lower. We're going to be up into the 350, 360 range when we do the potatoes for the crunch. Now, don't overload this, because one of the things we want to remember is about the temperature. What temperature is this recovering to? You know, if you put too many things into your oil, or if your vessel that you got your oil in can't retain its own heat, well, it drops down, and that's when things kind of get soggy and real oily tasting. Okay, there we go. Let those bad boys hang out. Now, the fries, well, I've cooked them to where they're done. So that's a cooked potato. Now what? I've let them cool. Now what I'm going to do is take the potatoes, put them back into the oil. The oil temperatures come back. It's what we call recovered. So now I'm going to take them, throw them back in at 350. There we go. In small batches, not too much. Throw them back in at 350. This is where that nice golden crunch is going to come in. These are just about done. Now, these are the twice fry on the potato. Remember, I cut some russets, took the skins off the side, left them on the end so they look, you know, kind of restaurant style. Got these bad boys, fried them once, let them cool down, then fried them again, and that's where the crunch comes from. Shut down the thermal reactor right there. Hit a little salt while they're hot so the salt kind of melts right into them. And then just shake them onto that platter. Haha. This is a big game day feed here.